Well, to discuss how the region is faring, we're joined by Fernanda Perez Arguello. She's Associate Director of the Adrienne Arsht Latin America Center at the Atlantic Council. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks, Gerald.
Now, we're seeing such a mixed picture across Latin America. In some places, infections are slowing. In some, it's accelerating, and that's despite lockdown. I'm thinking, say, of Chile. What worries you when you see the entire region as a whole?
Thanks, Gerald. You're right. We're seeing a mixed picture in Latin America. I would say that Uruguay and Paraguay are two of the countries that have managed to contain the virus. But as we were seeing in these clips, the virus is not done with Latin America. And I am worried that there is a sort of, if you think of the past few months in Latin America, at the end of 2019, we were seeing all these protests, and we were seeing a lot of social fatigue, frustrations come to the surface. And so you already had a situation where the societies were sort of like in a boiling pot, and then with the pandemic, you come and you put a lid on that, and inevitably, it's going to start to spill over. And, so we have all these social preoccupations combined with fragile public health systems and people who need to get back to work. 6 out of 10 people in Latin America are in the informal economy, and so they live payday to payday. And staying home is a luxury that many cannot afford.
And you talk about this social fatigue. I mean, really, poor and migrant populations seem to be disproportionately hit, but there's also a strange phenomenon of the political class, isn't there? We've seen several ministers in Bolivia get infected, and then the presidents of Honduras, and most notably, of course, Brazil, President Jair Bolsonaro. Why do you think that is? Why are these politicians all, getting COVID-19?
Yeah, Gerald, COVID-19 was brought to Brazil by a lady who had traveled abroad in Europe. And so we see the wealthier classes bringing the virus to Latin America. I mean, it was inevitable it was going to get there sooner or later. But also, it's a full display of the inequality in Latin America, which is so wide. It's the worst inequality in the world, and we're seeing it play every day in the coronavirus pandemic. Yes, we have people in the social class, in the political and the wealthier social classes who are infected with the virus, but they're doing fairly well. They're able to get health care, they're able to go to the hospital, they're able to isolate. And that's not the case for many of the more marginalized communities that, as I was saying earlier, one, they cannot afford to stay home to protect themselves from the virus. And the other side of it is that if you have somebody in your family who contracts the virus, usually in the United States, they tell you to stay home and self-isolate. Well, that's not possible in Latin America. In countries and households where 10 people live in a household. And so we're seeing all these dichotomies play out in Latin America. And unfortunately, those who are more vulnerable are being exposed to the virus more so than others.
So really, this social divide and economic divide is coming to the fore. But what about the macroeconomic impact of the pandemic? I mean, we heard earlier the Economic Commission of Latin America warning that the whole region may lose up to 10% of its GDP this year alone, dropping to 2010 levels. I mean, this lost decade, what will that long-term impact be for Latin Americans?
Exactly, that you hit the nail on the head. We're hearing a lot of economists talk about another lost decade for Latin America. A lot of the economies are in free fall, so we're going to see higher levels of poverty. I was seeing that the Pan American Health Organization was estimating that the population of Mexicans living in extreme poverty will increase from 11% to 16% in 1 year because of the pandemic. We're going to see the inequality gap widen again, and we're going to see yeah, the economies, the largest economies in Latin America, we were seeing Argentina is going to contract by 10%. The number for Mexico is similar. So it's just worrisome that the countries have had to paralyze all economic activity. A lot of the countries in Latin America depend on tourism, commerce, which is not digital or virtual. And so we're going to see, like you were saying, another lost decade in Latin America, which is really worrisome because this is something that the whole world is going through. And so Latin America will need the support of the international community to help recover from the pandemic, but it's going to be a really slow and painful and extended recovery.
And we will continue to monitor that recovery. Maria Fernanda, Perez, Arguello, thank you so much for your time and insight.